All right. BTTC continues to just keep dropping. As you can see in the last video's update, we gave the clear breakdown level. All right. And once we broke through there, we had our bearish price targets. Now that we've hit our last bearish price target here, is it finally time to potentially buy BTTC? Okay. You can see there's a clear divergence as we've had in the past on the RSI, and those divergences have played out very nicely in the past if you're a trader. And so we're going to look at if there's any opportunities. Of course, as always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. So please be sure to read through the full disclosure. So the token that just keeps going lower and lower seems to potentially be at an area of support. Now, does this mean that it's a buy? Are there any signals? Are there any indicators that we can look for? Well, we currently are having some divergences, as I mentioned. If we wanted to draw some trend lines here, you could do something like this. Okay, you could draw a little bit of a trend line like this and see if it's trying to break out. I don't try to focus on trend lines too much unless, we see price action really squeezing together in some, type of form, such as we did over here. But currently, price is basically just stair stepping down, right? We're basically coming down, hitting all of the key levels, doing a dead cat bounce, come down, hit all the key levels, consolidate sideways, come down, we hit some of the key levels. So as I mentioned, after we got our breakdown, all right, between here, which is 5.8. Now there's a bunch of zeros in front of this. I'm not going to waste all the time going over all of the zeros. But essentially, once we broke through there, we had 5.4, 5.0, 4.5, and then 3.8. And that's exactly where we're at now. Now, I mentioned something known as divergence before. Okay, so what that is when, the price of whatever it is you're looking at, whether it's a crypto, a stock, or anything, you can see here we're making lows, we're making lower lows, and we're making lower lows here, right? Lower lows indicated by the circles. Well, on the RSI, which is right down here, this is your relative strength index. We're actually making a low, a higher low, and higher lows here again. So this is a very simple term known as a bullish divergence. When price action is making lower lows, the RSI is making higher lows, and it's an indicator you could see some bullish activity. And sure enough, we did get a nice little rally here, but it was not enough to sustain a real breakout and get above our breakout levels. Now, afterwards, what we did was we ended up creating a bearish divergence where now we're in an uptrend, but our RSI is in a downtrend here. Okay, so what we're doing is we're coming here and we're making a high, and then we're making a higher high. And on the RSI at those same exact points, we have a high, and then we have a lower high. So now this would be a bearish divergence, and it's an indicator you could see some bearish activity. And what do you see? Price action drops. So that brings us to today. What are we looking at? Well, we're looking at a low here on the RSI. We're looking at a low here on the price action. And then we're looking at a higher low here. And we're looking at a lower low here. So again, we're seeing a clear divergence where price action is making lower lows. The RSI is making higher lows. This is a bullish divergence, and it's an indicator we could see some bullish activity. Now, does this mean BTTC is getting ready to skyrocket and go up hundreds and hundreds of percent? No, it doesn't, right? Really, this is just an indicator we may see some bullish activity. We're at an area of support, and from a risk to reward standpoint, it offers a nice trade setup, right? You can put a stop loss below your support level here, okay? And then you can put a take profit up at your previous support level, which is going to be new resistance right around 0.045. Okay, so if you're someone that does want to trade BTTC, that's essentially what you would look for, right? You're entering here, okay, and you're risking this much to potentially make this much up here. All right, so that's basically my thoughts on BTTC right now after it's come down and broken to the levels. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's any potential for this long term? Do you think this is a good trade setup? Do you think that this project is dead? Let me know. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts down below.